Well, hello everyone. I'm out here in the Alamo Draft House. I'm gonna go watch the Leprechaun movie, the classic horror movie from the early '90s, and tomorrow I'll give you my review about the movie. Well, I'm sure most of you have probably seen it, but we already know it's a great classic horror movie. But I'll give you my thoughts and reviews about it more later on. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, depends where you're at. Today we are going to talk about the Leprechaun movie. Well, all this week we're going to be talking about all eight Leprechaun movies. Um, since St. Patrick's Day is coming up very soon, I believe it's gonna be Monday or Tuesday. I don't remember exactly the day. I gotta double check again. But yeah, last night I went to watch the Leprechaun movie. It's a horror classic. It was in 1993 with Warwick Davis, which he did an amazing job. So today we're gonna talk about it, review it, and give my thoughts on it. So let's get started. So The Leprechaun is a horror comedy written directed by Mark Jones, and like I said, it started Warwick Davis with supporting cast like Jennifer Aniston. I'm sure all of you know who is Jennifer Aniston. She's been in a lot of movies and shows, especially Friends. But what's called in the other supporting cast was Ken Oland. Sorry, I can't pronounce his last name. And Mark Holton and Robert Gorman. And I will give you guys a bit of the plot of the movie. But then at the end, there will be spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, skip it. But I'll let you guys know at the end when I'm gonna be spoiling the movie. But yeah, the Leprechaun. It's about Dan O'Grady returns home from his trip from his trip to from Ireland, where he was has stolen a leprechaun's pot of gold. A vengeful leprechaun who has begun following O'Grady back home and murder his wife. O'Grady uses a four-leaf clover to suppress the leprechaun's power, and traps inside a crate. Before he can burn him, the leprechaun makes O'Grady suffer a stroke. 10 years later, JD and his teenage daughter Tori rent the O'Grady farmhouse for the summer. Contracts worker Nathan, his 10-year-old brother Alex, and their dim-witted friend Ozzy help to repaint the house. Ozzy hears the leprechaun cry for help and is mistaken him for a child down in the basement. He brushes off the clover off the crates and frees the leprechaun. So yeah, so that's the beginning part of the movie. Like I said, the leprechaun's been played by Warwick Davis, which I think he did an amazing job playing as the leprechaun. He brought a bit of the comedy into the movie. Yeah, there's a bit of scares in it. I know not many people were, like I said, last night when watching the movie, there's mostly laughters. A lot of people were laughing in the movie theaters, which I thought that was amazing, but there's still like, I wouldn't say too gory, but there's some few bloods when they try to kill the leprechaun and all. But like I said, Davis did an amazing job. No one else could have done an amazing job like he did. He's a big horror icon on this. Well, I know it's not on the top of the list of like the top five horror icons like Michael, Jason, Freddy, and the list goes on. But I still think it's Leprechauns a great horror classic. It's one of those type of movies you will watch on March, especially when St. Patrick's Day is coming up. I know last night when I was watching the movie theaters, they saying they probably play number two next year, so I'll be going to watch that whenever that comes out for next year in March. That's like in a whole another year. But yeah, this week I'll be watching the rest. But yeah, like I said, I thought Davis did an amazing job, and his supporting cast as well. And like I said, Jennifer Aniston is in it, and we all know this is like her earlier career before she became all famous. So seeing her in this was pretty amazing. This is like the first movie I saw on her in this. Um, but she still looks amazing nowadays, and back then she still looked amazing as well. But like I said, Davis did a amazing job. There's no other people they could have hired, and with all this issue that's happening nowadays, especially with they're saying the Snow White with the dwarfs. They're doing CGI. It wouldn't work out this year. I'm glad back in the day they did makeup effect. I thought the makeup effect was amazing on especially on what they did with Warwick, um, and his outfit and stuff, and especially since he's short and all. Not trying to diss anyone, but his height was the perfect way to do for the leprechaun. And like I said, with nowadays, it's a big issue with there's doing that they're not hiring people who are short, which I see nothing wrong with that. Hiring them is like, hey, they need jobs too. They need to eat and all, but there didn't seem no issue back in the day. In classic movies, like me, I've been watching so many movies. You've seen so many people who are short, uh, who are perfect roles to be someone who is too tall to play. They were the perfect cast, and they didn't have no issue back in the day. I don't understand why there's a big issue nowadays, but you could say thank that to Peter Dinklage for that. But we'll get into that later on. But other than that, for my thoughts on the movie was I thought it was really amazing. It's really enjoyable. Yeah, it's not gonna be one of those top tier horror movies that people are just gonna say, oh yeah, it's gonna the best horror movie of all time. I just say it's entertaining most of the time. It's just you get a bit laughter, yeah, there's a bit of horror, and like I said, the makeup effect was amazing on it. You really don't see that as much of nowadays. Most of it's gonna be CGI and stuff, or they do all that practical effects on it that you don't see much now back in the days, but I thought this was amazing.
Hearts, stars, and horseshoes, clovers and blue moons, unicorns, rainbows, and tasty red balloons. Good luck catching me in me charm world.
They done took the rainbow. I want the rainbow back. You can't have the rainbow, goddammit. We didn't vote on this shit. I didn't get an email. Fuck you, you greedy bastard. How many colors do you need, goddammit?
The lucky, lucky charms, they're magically delicious.
Ain't like it's magically delicious. Isn't that right, girls?
So Ozzy and Alex were wandering around and they found the pot of gold hidden where O'Grady was hiding it all these years, because the leprechaun's still looking for its gold, and without its gold it doesn't have its full powers. But yeah, and Ozzy swallowed one of the gold coins, but then they're trying to figure out how much it was worth, and the leprechaun was following them and tormenting them the whole time. Yeah, but and the funny thing is that in the movie that the leprechaun, every time he sees shoes, he has to shine his people's shoes, so that's like one of the thing he has to do. But yeah, in the movie, it's like I said, there's pretty funny stuff. In some parts, he kills a guy with a pogo stick, which it was pretty funny. He's riding a little tricycle, and then he saw in one of the markets that the guy he killed that instead of riding the tricycle, he traded in for a little mini car, which he was driving around. He got pulled over by a cop, which I thought that was funny. But yeah, there's a few funny stuff that he does. They're really hilarious. But like I said, there is some gores. Not too much gores, but there is some kills. Little blood and stuff like that. But they try to kill. They try to kill the leprechaun as many times, but that didn't work out. But yeah, he comes back getting tormented, and the only one who actually know how to stop the leprechaun was O'Grady. So they Tori had to go to the nurse's home to talk to O'Grady, see how to stop the leprechaun. And he told him the only way to stop the leprechaun, if you were paying attention when I read it, is the four-leaf clover. To only stop the leprechaun is the four-leaf clover. So she had to search a four-leaf clover, stop the leprechaun, and that's the only way they could kill the leprechaun. So that's what they did. They searched on for the four-leaf clover, and they killed the leprechaun, and they killed it. But knowing Hollywood, and everyone knows once when a movie does so good, they wanna cash out on that. So they did more sequels and for that movie. So you know how much they are. There's at first with the original with Warwick, he played the Leprechaun 6 times. So that was pretty amazing that he came back. And then there was 2 remakes, but like I said, we'll talk more about that later on. But yeah, later today I'll be watching number 2, number 3. So I'll give you my reviews on that as well. So I'll be posting up that later on today. But for right now, I'm just posting up the number 1. So hopefully you guys like this, and give me your thoughts on what do you guys have you seen the first Leprechaun? What are your thoughts? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What you think is a horror movie? Is a comedy? Did you laugh on it? Did you get scared of it? But yeah, so like I said, give me your comments and like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.
What the hell are you?
I'm a leprechaun, me dear.
Here. This is what you're looking for, right?
Me powers are returning. It sounds like me go. It looks like me go. It smells like me go. It tastes like me go.